Alright, so today I'm going to try George's 10 easy quarter pipe tricks. I think that's what he called them. And we got this nice little quarter pipe right here. Alright, so this quarter pipe is almost perfect for learning, and I'll tell you why. It's kind of impossible to hang up. It's got a smooth little coping right here. Even if I were to hang up and die, it's not that tall, so I wouldn't die that much. So the only thing weird about this quarter pipe is, one, it's got a pretty gnarly crack like right in front of it. And it has a slightly weird transition. I don't know if you can see it in camera, but it goes abruptly from flat into transition. All right, enough talking, let's warm up. Actually, I just finished filming another video and I'm pretty exhausted. Alright, so I can do most of these tricks already, so I'm actually going to learn how to do all 10 in one day. But the thing about transition skating for me is like, no matter how much I do it, the fear never goes away. Like, it's always super terrifying. So first up, the rock to fakie. I like it when it's like fully decked and the body weight is further back. I think it looks more stylish, and I actually think it's kind of easier than to completely rock your weight forward, because when your weight is in the ramp, you don't really have to think about pressing down on the tail. Because as soon as you lift your front foot, it's automatically going to lift. So with the front foot, all I think about is just aiming up there, bloop, and then aiming back here. Just like that. Bloop, bloop. Alright, so the cool thing about the rock to fakie is you can just progressively get more and more speed and just go further and further in. So same thing with rock and roll. I just like to think of it as aim here, bloop with the front foot, and by the time I'm already here, I'm already kind of like looking back this way, and all I have to do is just aim my foot down here. Bloop. When you're learning these, it's actually a good idea to like practice without your board and just visualize it. So bloop, bloop. So next up is the slash grind. I'm going to try to do both backside and front side, but this one I've never done before, and it's super scary because even though it's just a kick turn, I'm really scared of hanging up. Alright, next up, backside axle grind. I actually think this is easier than a slash grind because, I don't know, it just feels more secure. But the hard part is I like to do a cross pinch. Alright, so the back truck is sitting heel side and the front truck is sitting toe side. And this is like really secure, but I kind of don't like the way it looks because it doesn't look like I'm fully like on the deck. But it is safer because it's just less likely to hang up when your back wheel is like, when your back truck is on heel side rather than toe side and then And Feeble, same thing. Feeble actually feels easier for me because, like I said earlier, like I like being inside the ramp. Feeble is also easier to aim into. Just think of a Feeble as a crooked rock and roll. So instead of just going up, bloop, like that, just go up, bloop, a little bit crooked, get that back truck on, and then bloop. All right, next up, fakie tail stall. It's really easy to overshoot like that, and that's kind of scary. So when I learned it, all I did was just aim like down here. Just try to aim early, because really if you aim early, like nothing bad can go wrong. You're just basically dropping back in from there. Eventually you just go a little bit faster, make your way up, and then bloop, just bloop that tail right there, and then drop in. So I'm going to try to do both Feeble to axle grind and then in, and then also axle grind or axle stall, Feeble, back in. Alright, for both tricks, both combos, it's way easier to, instead of putting my weight like inside the ramp, it's way easier to just stand up on top, and then you can manipulate things pretty easily once your weight is actually on top of the deck. The scariest one of them all, Nollie Disaster? Lip stall? I don't know. I think he calls it Nollie Disaster. But this is just terrifying. This is a new one for me. Like putting the weight on the nose and coming back in. A little bit scary, but let's just get it over with. Alright, for that one, it makes it a lot easier to like anticipate the stall and lean forward this way. The way that you're going to be facing instead of like leaning back, because that is scary. So just anticipate it forward, and you just got to do a nose manual back in. The first time I did it, like I rolled in, and if this was like any other quarter pipe, I would have just died spontaneously. Weight forward and just loop back in. Next, I'm going to try a backside axle grind. And I don't have any wax on me, but I do have this banana peel, and it works in the cartoons, right? So. So some bonus tricks that are pretty easy. I do think doing half cab into rock to fakie is pretty easy. Now that I've done the nollie lip slide, both kind of feel similar, but this one's pretty easy too. And also, you can also do half cab, rock and roll. That's not a bad one either. The hard thing is rolling up fakie. And for either one, you gotta wait until the last second to turn. Like, it's really easy to just anticipate it and just like not get up far enough. So this one, like, you know, wait a little bit longer than you think you have to, because once you start pivoting, the board is actually going to come down a little bit. So it's not likely that you're going to be going into blunt, you know. Also, I do think no stall and no stall revert are kind of easier than fakie tail stall because you're riding up regular. The scary thing is going back and switch, but revert, you don't really have to worry about that. Just remember, try to slam your wheel down and really pivot. Just power slide. Keep the weight on the back here and stay light on the front. And then for a no stall, just like the rock and roll, don't put your weight all the way up onto the deck, because that means you're going to be dropping in switch. But if you just lean back like that and just drop back in, it's not really like a drop in, you just kind of fall back in. So keep the weight back into the ramp and it should be easy. Just like the fakie tail stall. So you can just start down here and then progressively move your way up.